So I'm not letting anything go, right? That little thing, it was fine, right? A little scary, I'm sure, but it was fine. That big pop of the correction is more to kind of like snap him out of it. Like, hey, that small stuff isn't gonna be able to go. You're gonna get a big correction for that. So if you really try something, you're really gonna get another big correction, right? This is exactly what we did in terms of the desensitizing to it. Because again, he doesn't want to do it, he just wants you to stop, right? So it's something that these little things that he's trying to do, that quick little correction, he's done.
And then a little bit of like, she's for some reason like bikes,
Okay.
skateboarders, rollerblades, anything
Sure.
with wheels, except for cars.
Yeah.
Skates now.
Don't like bikes? Well, the herding breed is a little bit coming out there, you know. So we'll start today on prong collar, which is just a plastic star mark collar. Through what we're going to learn today, I'm just going to have us focus on those things in your homework over the next week, and just starting to set some foundational things as we're moving forward. So I'm going to fit her up with a star mark, and again, like I said, it's just a plastic pinch collar, and we're going to use it to start to guide some of her behavior and kind of have a conversation with her through the leash, where we're going to set a couple boundaries and get her walking really nice, get her doing some sits and getting on and off our bed. I want to use as little pressure as I can get away with, but as much as I need. So she'll only be feeling the pressure when she's starting to get out of my bubble. And I'm kind of guiding her back in. Good. Hi, Charlotte. Nothing formal happening here. I don't care what side she's on. I'm just wanting her to be engaged with me and to start recognizing when I'm turning. Good. So the theme is a little bit like pressure and release, where she's going to feel the pressure when I'm trying to communicate with her, and the release of the pressure when she's doing the correct thing. So she kind of actively learns where my boundary is or where your boundary is. And she can have an easier time discerning what exactly we're asking her. Come on. Oh, hey. Good girl. Good. Good. Good girl. Sure, it's pretty common that you'll hear me say good to her a lot, and I'm marking specific behaviors. Good. That I'm liking from her. So we're kind of charging up, teaching her a clear yes. And on the alternative, we'll teach her a clear no and what behaviors we don't like. Good. So her turning toward me, I'm marking with good and making sure to reward. Next, I'm just going to do some sits with her. She probably knows the word sit, I'm assuming. So I'm going to help hold her accountable if she doesn't sit or she gets out of it before I release. So I'm going to tell her, sit here in a second. And the expectation is that she sits and stays seated until I release with okay. Okay is just telling her that she's free. Sit. Good. Okay. Good job, Charlotte. Come here. Sit. Good. Okay. Sit. Good. Okay. Good girl. You're so smart. And next I'm going to have her get on and off of this dog bed. So I'm going to use a little pressure to guide her up. I'm just gonna hold steady here. Come on, girl. Come here. Good. And we'll start by just having one of her paws touch the bed as she's getting a little bit more comfortable with interacting with the object. Come on. Yes, good. Yes. Yes. So initially, I'm using a yes marker. Yes. As she's getting more comfortable, and we're expecting the command to be, I just want her to get on the bed, and then she's immediately released. And in dog training, yes is just a way to, kind of like a terminal marker where you did the command, you get the treat. We'll eventually transition it to good, meaning we're gonna expect a little bit more from her, but I just want her to get pretty comfortable here. Yes. And feel confident that behavior A leads to treat. Yes. You're a motivated little gal, huh? Excellent. Yeah, she loves mom. Yeah. Yeah. I think things happen in life, like in retrospect, like, yeah, it sucks that it happened, but we can certainly move past it. Just like things happen to humans that we don't necessarily love. And that could have made her a little bit more fearful to dogs, which is why we're seeing the behaviors that we're seeing. Or it very well could be she's coming into maturity, and the things that she used to tolerate as puppy, or the things that she used to be okay with, she's suddenly starting to enter a teenage phase. But nonetheless, we're gonna work on building her confidence around those things, whether it is fear-based or if she's experiencing just excitement. We'll do a little bit of walking outside here next. Obviously, when we're inside, there's not a lot of distraction, so dogs tend to pick up on things really quickly because they're in an environment that's low key and they're able to really focus. 10 out of 10 times when we take some of this training outside, we see the fixation on everything around them start to come out, and they have inability to focus. So I always like to add a little bit of outside walking as well. So over the course of the week, some clear guidelines to work on with her and get her engaged outside. Like I said, we're just gonna test this out in the parking lot. All I'm gonna focus on is her walking and being engaged with me. And there might be other dogs out there, so it would be good just to see how she behaves. Come here. They're coming. Don't worry. Here at the threshold, I'm also going to enforce her not rushing through the door without being released. So I'm going to open the door first. No. If she rushes out, I'm kind of giving her a pop on the prong. No. I'm getting her to focus on not passing through without permission. Okay. Good. If you guys kind of want to stand over here, I'll just be turning with her, doing the same kind of things. And I want to gauge how successful she is and a little bit of a more distracting place. Good. Ooh, you're tangled. There we go. So she gets to the end of the leash, she's kind of naturally feeling that pull. And I kind of want the same response as we were seeing inside, where she was naturally turning with us and very focused on us. Good. 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 So a quick tip, if you feel like you want her to be a little bit more with you, is when her butt goes to pass you, I want you to make your 180 turn and turn the opposite way. So we're almost starting to shape her behind your knee rather than pulling ahead. So you can just start walking. Yeah, perfect. Nice. So we're teaching her kind of to stick with us and not pull on the leash, whether that's toward another dog or a smell, bicycle, scooter, whatever it may be. So she's feeling the consequence of that little bit of pressure when she's breaking our heel positioning. And this is all to start to shape the idea of her walking really nicely with us, so we can enforce this position when we're walking outside. We have something really clear to correct for once she enters a reactive state. There you go. We want the reward to be really purposeful, so she's not just getting food to get food. I want to see that she's turning and being engaged with you when we mark with good.
So like here it's
Yeah, so as she's like getting distracted, I'd almost, here, I'll take her back from you for just a second. Kind of easier to demonstrate. Yeah. So I want to help her feel like even with sound and noise distraction, she can come back to me. So as I'm walking her, I'm kind of doing more turns right off the bat. And using that pressure when her attention starts to deviate from me. Good. Good. Rather than I don't want to get in a position where I'm bribing her to pay attention to me and I'm like, look what I have. I want to make sure she's performing the behavior first before she gets the reward for it. I know, now the noise is gone. So I kind of try to fold my leash in half almost, like here. And then I have a little bit more control over it. Why it's still loose. Oh, there's a moped. But it's not toward the end where we're really struggling to reel her back in. So I want to do something crazy here, and I want to get another dog out. I just want to see what you're seeing, so moving forward this week we can address it a little. So I'm going to grab a dog and just kind of walk by her. I want you to continue doing what you're doing. There's no need to completely fix it. I more so want to see what we're dealing with here. So I'm going to go grab a dog. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna put him back. All right, little lady. So that was pretty much the worst of it.
I'm glad you said German Shepherd because that
Yeah.
was perfect.
So when she's in that active state, I just wanna, there should be another dog coming for their lesson, and I just kinda want her to see that and see what adjustments we can make. Obviously, a lot of the training goes out the window that you've done with her when she's in that state. So I'm sure it can feel frustrating. How soon do you feel like you noticed her behavior shift after, was it immediate after the bite?
So we waited about
Good.
2 days until it like kind of the scab closed up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I'd say she immediately, well, 2 days after, we had her off leash because we used to be able to take her off leash.
Sure.
And then she just bolted after someone's like black lab that kind of looks a little German Shepherdy.
Was it a German Shepherd that bit her?
No.
I think so, no.
She's just always hated German Shepherds, but not this bad.
I think it was just an older dog.
Good. Okay. Good. Good girl. Good job. Oh yeah. Okay. So obviously the reaction from the first dog to that last dog was a little different. So I know you said sometimes it's bigger breed, so that might have been it. But when we start to have a reaction, not that we're going to solve it in one session, but I'd start to still implement a little bit of the consequence for drifting out of your position. I try to kind of get her before she's loaded up. So this week I would just continue the stuff inside, get really comfortable with the prong and the handling and things like that.
And then how much is like too much? I know today was like an hour.
Sure.
Don't want to like probably overdo it.
Yeah, so I think it's really helpful to keep sessions short but often. So you could work her for, if you're working on a walk and you normally go 30 minutes, go the full 30 minutes. And then active training sessions, I would keep between 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
Take some of her food out, get her working for her dinner, her breakfast, get her engaged with you. She's very engaged, so we're liking the food motivation, huh? Yeah, it was very nice to meet you, Charlotte. Hey guys, we have a couple of boxes here. They're really fine material, the best cardboard, and we will be using them because Sally's owners just let me know that anytime she goes into their mailroom, she has a little bit of a fright over these boxes. So we're gonna see how she reacts. This is Paige, by the way. She's gonna just be filming a little bit of us today. All right, I'll take her from you. I'm just gonna continue to work her at the expectations we've already set for her, whether she's having a fearful reaction or she's just not listening. I want to get to the bottom of what's making her nervous about it and still hold her accountable, although she might be a little frightened. Come on, Sal. Good. So our goal is not to necessarily put her in situations that she's really uncomfortable with, but we have to learn. It's good that you recognize some of this, because we definitely want to address it, because there will be boxes in the world. And I think we mentioned, and I saw a little bit, there we go. She had a little bit of trouble with like manholes and sewer drains too. Hi. Good. Can I interest you in a milk bone? She said, you may. That's a delicacy where I'm from. Come here. Come here, Sally. Good. Oh yeah. Come here. Good. Good. So I partly want to be patient with her as she's kind of discovering these new objects, but I'm also not going to let her put the brakes on and be like, no way, I'm not going past that, because it's really not scary. So we'll kind of mimic what it's like to get a package from the mailroom. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about my package. Come on, Sally, let's go open it together. She's like, is this lady okay? I'm worried for her welfare. Come here. Good. Oh, just so good. Sit. Yeah. You're like building confidence in dogs like her that are just very genetically anxious, whether that be from a checkered past or how they're built. It's really important to start to like make drills like this because it can be so hard to anticipate what she's going to be afraid of that day, whether that's a napkin on the ground or somebody's trash cup or McDonald's bag. And I'm not correcting her or frustrated with her for being scared. I just need to have expectations that if she's starting to pull or put the brakes on, I'm still gonna hold my ground, okay, of what I want her to do. Good. I promise nobody's gonna hurt you here. Good. Good job, Sal. Okay. Perfect. There you go. So you see her first initial response is to be like, what the hell is that? And she puts the brakes on, she gets very tense, she's very fearful. And then passing the object a couple of times, she's starting to engage with it. She's like, wait, what is that? We start to see her use her nose, and then it doesn't become as scary as it once was. Ooh. See if we can pass the presents one more time. Nice. Perfect. Good job. Nice. So as you're moving forward with her and you're starting to notice things that scare her, I would just handle it in this exact way. Maybe even purposely go out for a walk and go to the mailroom, go to a place where there might be stuff on the ground or objects that could make her feel uneasy. And start to walk her around them. I try not to, again, you guys are doing a really good job, but I try not to give into her putting the brakes on and move with her. I'm gonna move in the opposite way until she comes into my space. And she did so good. I'll take her back from you. Oh yeah. And we see she's super food motivated right now, so we can use that to our advantage. Sit. Good. Okay. Come here. Sit. Good. Good. Another thing that really helps to build confidence is just, as we said in the beginning, like exposure to things. So I don't know if you have any ability to start getting her out to a couple new places, like coffee shops or new parks, okay? If we can build her confidence in unfamiliar situations and still have our training be upheld, she's gonna feel a lot more comfortable going into those. Sit.
Do you think she's ready now to sit outside on the patio?
Yeah. I would be interested in having you try it. You could even like go into it thinking, let's go get a cup of ice cream, let's go get a beer or one drink, and start with it being like a shorter trip. The things we'd looking for is that people don't come up and approach her, even though she is friendly. I want her to feel like we've completely got her back. So if the waitress is like, oh my God, can I pet her? No, she's in training right now. And you can even pick places, like when you're going to a brewery or coffee shop, I try to scope out one that has like a more open dynamic to it rather than one that's like really tight, because that can be a little awkward. And I always, when I'm starting things, I'll try to pick the furthest table away from all the action and maybe not going on like a weekend, and starting to incorporate it in really little ways so she can develop confidence just being out in the world.
All right, Bridget, where are we headed?
We are headed to Edgewater on this lovely, beautiful day to meet little Gordon.
What's up with Gordon?
You know, Gordon came to us with some pretty severe reactivity, and you would never know it because he looks like a sweet little teddy bear, but man, it's pretty intense. So we're gonna go check out the scene, see how he does around other dogs, distractions, and you know, we're hoping for the best. Hi, buddy.
Yes, you get so excited. Yes, you're so excited.
Hi, Biggie. Oh, hi. Are you having a nice lake view?
He is like, this has been his.
This way. Oh, hi. Hi. Oh, this is so sweet. How's it going?
Good. Things have been going good though. We've been
Yeah.
doing a lot of recall training outside, which is good.
Nice.
So he's been doing good. It's been fairly, or he hasn't been too distracted, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean he's been doing well. So yeah.
Any reactions this week?
Not fully.
No major reactions this
No
week
major
that I can
reactions?
think of.
No.
So the reactivity isn't what it once was, where, you know, you felt like you couldn't leave the house.
He's gotten so good on walks and like not like we used to have to like go, if he would see a dog, he'd freak out. We'd have to go take him in an area where he couldn't see the dog and like
Yeah.
sit with him for 10 minutes until he calmed down.
Yeah, like have a decompression.
Yeah, like it was a lot. So
Well, I always think inside the house too, like we had a couple days where we just like could not work because every couple seconds you'd see something outside
or hear that
or
dog
hear
that lives next
door
door to us.
slam or
And he'd kind of
anything and
start barking.
immediately
Oh.
start barking or rush to the
Rush
door
it.
or just kind of go crazy, and now we can actually get some work done.
Yeah.
Which is good.
I mean, he hasn't barked in the
Yeah.
house and I don't know, probably pretty much since we started with the e-collar.
Yeah, so I mean it's been a huge difference.
Good job, buddy.
I think he feels better about it too.
Yeah.
He's not so on edge anymore.
I think it's a really common misconception that like dogs that are more genetically nervous can't be e-collar trained because people feel like they instill fear in dogs. But I think it does quite the opposite, where we're starting to see once they have the boundaries and expectations, they feel so much more confident not having to engage in these bad behaviors that they once were. I think it's really good that we're doing things with our dogs and we feel like we can take them out and things.
Yeah.
But as we're going to do summer fun like patios or dog-friendly places, I think keeping your distance, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, for sure.
And having him just like learn to have a beer with you
Yeah.
without thousands of dogs coming up to him or getting really close to him.
That,
Come. Good boy. He's so good. Yeah.
that works.
Gordon, come. Good. Okay. Come. Come on, buddy. Oh, good job. Okay.
Come.
There you go.
Yes, that was so good. Yes, good job. Here. Come.
He's really gotten this one down.
Yeah.
Much that we really needed to correct outside of that.
Like it's to me, it's just crazy how like quickly it snowballed for him. I
Yes.
wasn't expecting that. Like, it definitely was. Like we started working on him staying in the bed when people come, and he's like then stopped barking, and it just like really quickly started snowballing, and like I don't know. Which is all to say, I don't feel like there is. I think just like making sure he's safe and comfortable in like public and around dogs is just like still the biggest.
And for any of the reactivity you're still seeing or what's left of it, the remnants of it, I'd still consider correcting really firmly.
Yeah.
So we can inhibit it entirely.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know it's a process, but the more we can suppress his desire to lunge toward dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, like this is like a situation like this. Like when he's on leash, he definitely is way more reactive than when he's been off.
Yeah. Good boy.
So good. Gordon, good job. I just saw that. I was gonna just show that to you actually.
Yeah. People are so focused on making everything like this hyper positive experience that they forget like sometimes you need some consequences to balance out the learning.
Yeah. It's definitely a 180 from when we first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've noticed a huge difference in him and even his confidence level in the last couple weeks.
Because like he walks with his head higher for sure, but like still comfortable, which is really nice.
Yes. I think as we're like, we saw in the transitional process of him going through, when we start to add the rules, he got a little bit nervous and he's like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
And then once he's more expectant of what we're asking him, he's like, oh, okay. That's not too hard. How do you guys feel about doing more sessions like this, like out in public? I know you've done quite a bit.
No, yeah, I think like.
I think it's great. Any experience you can have with more distractions, I
Yeah.
think is awesome.
Yeah. I guess I'm wondering. I know we've been doing all the sessions during the day. Should we look to do another one like later when we go to like that way? There's more distraction, or
Yeah, I would like to get him out and back into this park with some of the chaos, because I think it's going to be very natural that you're going to come to this park with him with all of that, and we can get the basics down when it's nice and quiet like this. But the real training will come in environmentally, when there's a lot going on,
For sure.
can we still get him to focus in? We'll keep it simple for him so he's not stressed by any means.
Sorry, Gordon.
Good job, buddy.
So instead of giving like actual corrections today, if he does snap or anything, we're just gonna give him leash pressure corrections. This way, if it's something where, if he needs a correction, because it's more intended like kind of out of that fear and everything, it's something where the correction will be very clear as to like me giving it to him. That way, hopefully we like, there's no like redirecting or anything where he like has to try to guess where that came from. Yeah, yeah. Because if he's like already in that kind of like state of panic, I want to make sure that we're not making it worse. So let's just see. Thanos, good boy. Nice job, buddy. Good boy. Nice. Now again, it looked like just like that little second when I was taking it off, you know, that he kind of like throws his head a little bit. Doesn't even look as bad as last time, but good boy. And was it usually like the snapping part that would set him off? Or, because I remember you saying that, wasn't there something with like his collars too, that it was like he was sensitive with it?
It was a click noise, which I haven't noticed him having any reaction to any click noises since the training.
Okay, cool.
He seems to be a lot better at that.
Mm-hmm. And that's usually when you do see it, is because that's when it's like, they know what's on, you know what I mean? Good job. Oh, okay. All right, this is looking pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and trade it off. So I'm gonna hold the leash tension, just so if anything happens, I can give that correction. You just worry about the muzzle. Thanos, sit. Good boy. Nice.
Good boy.
There you go. That's all right. Yep. That was good. And pop that off. And then when you pop it, right? So like that little attitude that he's giving right there, right? Yeah, so you can just pop it and then try to pull it, so when you pop it, grab just this side and pull it off that way.
Okay.
Try it again. Sit. Good boy. Nice. And remember, try to keep the muzzle in between you and him, right? Especially, so as much as we feel like this is the safe spot, right? Because we're not directly in front of him. He's very easily, if we go this way with it, his first reaction is to shoot this way, right? So you're kind of like wanting to put him into it. So if we have it in between me and you, right? So we kind of just like muzzle it on that way, right? It'll be a little bit easier. Good boy. Go ahead and release. So okay, just pop it, wait a second. Try that one more time. So hold it, try to hold it like, just like this, right? And then you can hold this side here, so this is all in front of us, right? And then when I go to put it on, right, now it's already here in my hand, bring around, clip it, right? Good job, yep. Just the little things to keep us extra safe. Then when you go to clip it, take it off this way.
Okay.
Right? And you can even hold on for that second too. Good boy. Do you guys have any treats or anything?
No,
Okay.
we didn't.
That's all right.
We should.
That's all right. That's all right. Good job, bud. Mm-hmm. Nice. Do that ear. Perfect. And you're you at least look much more comfortable doing it that way, right? Yep, it's got to be, just scoot it over just a little bit. And take your time with it, you're good. Come on. Go ahead and try to take it off. Just buckle it and just let it go. Perfect. Now I'll take it off. Good. Now the correction again is very clear as to that came from me, right? Try it one more time, all right? Remember, keep it just in between you. Nice. And just leave it like that. We don't have to buckle it. So go ahead, and then go ahead and let this arm go, and then walk away. Perfect. Go ahead and reward him.
I'm sorry,
Just reward him, just give him a little. There you go. Good. Nice. So I'm not letting anything go, right? That little thing, it was fine, right? A little scary, I'm sure, but it was fine. That big pop of the correction is more to kind of like snap him out of it. Like, hey, that small stuff isn't going to be able to go. You're going to get a big correction for that. So if you really try something, you're really going to get another big correction, right? This is exactly what we did in terms of the desensitizing to it. Because again, he doesn't want to do it. He just wants you to stop, right? So it's something that these little things that he's trying to do, that quick little correction, he's done, right?
Definitely an improvement.
Yeah, I mean, and we clearly have ways to go, right? This is something that, because this is such a big thing, the reason it feels like we're going so slow is because I am kind of going slow with it, right? It's something that I want this to really, really end positively, and rushing through this, even though he was really good here, it's not the same back at home because, like you were saying, he gets tired of this repetition and everything, and it's something that with him, he's had past histories of like winning those little battles over you, right? Over both of you guys, where like those snaps and those growls and everything are really affected and not having you do it anymore. That's why I always want to end on a positive note. I give him that big correction, but I still have you do one more, right? And let him know that is what's going to make you stop, right? Is doing it successfully. Yes, snapping, growling, doing all that stuff is not going to work, right? That's not why we're going to stop, is because you're deciding it. I will decide when to stop, right? So that's what I really want to get good at. And if he does do any of that snapping like he did, just go ahead and drop the muzzle or whatever. Like, you don't need to kind of like try to keep it there too. Nice. There you go. All right.
Good job.
Yeah.
All right, one more.
So have him sit.
Sit. Good.
Perfect.
Say lay down.
That's all right. So sitting, and if I ask him to sit and he downs, perfect. If I ask him to down and he sits, that would be a correction. Nice. All right. I don't think you got it the first time either, but I was just gonna let it go. There you go.
I wasn't even doing a good job with it.
There you go. Perfect. So have you been able to practice any of the muzzling stuff?
I just had him show, like,
Put it
his
in.
hands there. He did it today, like, very excitedly.
Okay.
I hadn't progressed.
That's totally fine. I just wasn't sure where you guys were both at with it or not. So that's good. Well, we didn't even have to use the sleeve or anything, so that's positive. I want to try that one more time with you, if you feel comfortable with it. Okay. We'll just give him another minute or so, let him chill out, but then we'll try that again.
Like, when you have your finger on the lock, it doesn't lock.
And it can be real touchy with it too, with like the lock, like when it gets pushed down.
My hand on here, I'm like,
And then that's when the panic settles in, because you're like, oh my God, I'm running out of time. The time's clicking, you know? Yeah.
it's like, are you done? Add your 15 seconds.
And that's something too, if you ever hit that moment of like, I can't get it in, and I start kind of freaking out like he's losing his patience, use it just as one of those repetitions. Yep, go ahead and just be like, all right, I feel like it's been too long, right? Good job, there you go, here's another rep. Okay, now let's try it again. Gives you time to kind of figure out where the clip is, make sure that that's all good, maybe even practice it a couple times. All right, now we can try it again, right? So don't feel like you ever have to commit to it, right? Just think of it as just like another repetition. All right, try it one more time.
Thanos.
Have him sit, there you go, perfect. Nice. So don't try to just get up, yep. Just in case he does, I don't want you not able to get up, right?
Clearly I can't either.
Yeah, that's all right. So instead of doing this tapping, right? Because this can be kind of irritating.
Yeah.
Just hold it and just kind of slide. Yeah. Because it's easier to keep it on, because the whole point of this is to desensitize him to the actual feeling of the muzzle, right? So it's something that if I just go like this and he tries to move his head and he tries to do this thing like he was doing for you, it's still there, right? It's very easy to remove it if he were to get like snappy or something, but for him, he knows it's there. It's not moving, this is it, right? But you're also not gonna die, right? So.
Is that why they call them party hats?
Exactly. Nice. Perfect. Just take your time with it. There you go. Nice. Go ahead and give him that reward. There you go. You're good.
That's definitely something I shot with, is the reward. I'm too
Yeah.
like, okay, and then I'm like,
That's totally fine. It's all right. Now again, also just reading body language. See how his tail's tucked and everything like that too? Whereas before, when he was working with him, the tail was up and it's more relaxed, right? So it's something that, just being aware of body language too, right? And now again, this is repetition to get him used to it, right? He's clearly getting successful with the repetition. So this isn't something that like you guys necessarily have to do like 10 reps every day or whatever, like go until he's pissed off, right? It's something where once we do it, maybe like you were saying, like once a day or once even every other day, and then you guys can start like doing repetition in or duration in with it, right? So when you're doing, you're gonna do a bed stay while you're folding laundry or something like that, right? Pop that muzzle on, put him in a bed stay or a down stay, and just let him like hang there for like a minute or two, right? Go back over, get him that big reward, pop that muzzle off, still have him hold the duration, right? And that way it's something where he's doing it without actually being scared of it, right? Exactly. Right now we're working, it's just like every other command, right? With the bed stay, we work repetition first and then we lay in duration. This is the exact same thing. We're laying in repetition right now to then put in duration, right? So, yep. Hold it there for a sec. There you go. That's all right. Here. What is it stuck on? Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's all right. And you know, I think it's like once he knows he's in the clear, that's his like last like. I think that's why he's getting a little nippy with it after the fact of getting it off, because he's like, well, this is my one little chance. Yeah, you know. But again, it's still like even that nip that he had, I don't think it was committed, or like what we call it committed. Like it was like if he were to actually make contact with you, I don't even think. I mean, I would hope not. It wouldn't have even broken skin. Yep.
Just like,
Yep.
I bumped him.
But he's definitely like, we're done, you know? But he doesn't get to make that call, right? And that's the whole point of this repetition. That I wanted to, I honestly thought we were gonna have to spend a lot more time on that. Clearly the work that you guys have put in has really made this a lot easier. So I think that looks really good. Obviously, again, work at your own pace, both of you guys. We can always come back here and again, we have the tools, right? So it's something that pushing the limits here is obviously a lot safer than pushing the limits at home right now, right? But I think that with each follow-up we have, it leads us to be able to push the envelope a little bit further at home, right? If you guys feel comfortable. But remember, always just do it at your own pace. Yeah, but it's something that, you know, again, we have the things here so we can take our time.
Do you think my lack of confidence shows as, like through him, the kale talk, or it's just him being over it? Because obviously he's more like,
I definitely think like the caution has it. Okay. I don't think it's necessarily something where he like reads your fear or something. I think it's more the physical touching, right? Yeah, so with us too, we're a little bit more like fluent with it of just like committing, right? It's something where when he like pushes his head to the side and you kind of like keep it there for a second and then you slowly go over, it's just taking more time to do it.
okay.
Right? So his patience is just getting a little bit more thin. Where it's like, when we see that green light, we're just a little bit quick, we're just kind of putting it on, right? And again, that's something that does absolutely take time, and it's something that don't feel like you have to rush because it's gonna be something that's gonna help, you know? Because you can fake the confidence all you want, but if there is still that like hesitation, right? And he snaps, so.